all right. You're listening to the Deadman's Tome podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Deadman. And tonight we're talking about Cthulhu versus the T800 the Terminator. Now, this battle might sound one-sided. This battle might sound insane. It might seem like, what am I talking about? Of course, come on. Of course, you know who's going to win. All right, but let's not give it away. Let's not give it away. First off, a reminder, yes, the show is the show that's completely demonetized on YouTube because it's too damn sexy, and it's because of this voice. And it's also a show that's broadcast live deep in the heart of Meth County, Texas. If you want to help support the show, you can. You can donate if you want to. Use streamlabs.com/MrDeadmanDT. It's going towards artwork, not towards booze and cigars. I can promise you that. Hollywood Holocaust, that issue is coming along, and it's looking great. I already sent out contracts, sent out payment, and I also pretty much requested from the art guy, from Damascus Mincemeyer, additional art pieces. If I can, I would like to put art before every story. That'd be great. You know, some nice pen and ink style art before every story. So anyway, let's get into this. All right, Cthulhu versus the T800. Well, I think the reason why I'm talking about this is because I did a poll not too long ago, around April 30th, asking this question: who would win in a fight? Cthulhu's psych abilities would do nothing against the T800, right? Absolutely not. The T800 is a fearless, ruthless killing machine. It's also a machine. Like, Cthulhu is not going to be able to manipulate it. It's definitely not going to be able to strike fear into it. But the T800, I mean, it's strong, but is it an old one? Is it a deity type of strong? But I asked this question, and it's divided. A lot of votes, but 50-50 split, and who would win? Whether you agree with that or not, I don't know. Let me know. If you're in the chat right now, or if you're listening to this later on in the podcast feed, let me know in the comments section. Who do you think would win and why? Okay? First, recap in case you don't know. I'm sure everybody knows who Cthulhu is. He's like one of the main guys from H.P. Lovecraft. He is the king of the Cthulhu mythos. Without Cthulhu, you have no Cthulhu mythos, right? Spawned from the genius of H.P. Lovecraft. You could say, oh, he's a racist. It still doesn't mean it wasn't spawned from that genius, okay? The fear of the other, whatever. Yeah, it produced Cthulhu, okay? Whatever. People like to tear down stuff anymore because of the author or the artist, whatever. I'm not about that. Anyway, Cthulhu is one of the great old ones. He's part of this old ancient race of deities. Comes out from the cosmos. He has some pretty great powers. He has immortality, and of course he has immense size. But how big is Cthulhu really? I mean, Cthulhu, according to certain sources, about 130, 160 feet tall. That is pretty big. But Godzilla towers him, right? If this was a Cthulhu versus Godzilla, Cthulhu would be a little dwarf compared to that. I mean, I'm not making that up. Godzilla's about 328 feet. Maybe we're to stand about 400 feet, they say. But of course, we're talking about Cthulhu versus T800. A T800, how tall is that? Well, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger tall. Okay. So Cthulhu definitely has it down in the size area, okay? Anyway. But other powers. It has vast strength, we know that. It has flight. It has some sort of telepathy. It has some sort of weird magic, psych abilities. Can manipulate plasma, apparently. I guess it can shapeshift, I suppose, in certain stories. But really, based on the Lovecraft lore, though, there's a whole Lovecraft or the Cthulhu RPG stuff. But if we just stick to the Cthulhu stories and Lovecraft, we know he has a size, he has flight, and he has power, and he has psych abilities. Okay. Now, what about the T800? Well, I mean, the T800 is a ruthless killing machine. It's a product of Skynet. It's the Cyberdyne Systems Serials 800 Terminator. It's mass-produced by Skynet to take out all the pesky freedom fighters, the rebels, whatever they called them. It's been a while. The Resistance, La Resistance. Those guys. You know, if this was Cthulhu versus a whole army of T800s, I think we know who would win, hands down, right? I mean, a whole army? Come on now. Come on. Okay, so the T800 has a CPU, the central processing unit, the neural net processor. This thing, I think it's very essential to what the T800 is. This thing allows the T800 to adapt to its surroundings. It allows it to process and make it an efficient killer. It has detailed files on human anatomy and physiology. Now, what does that have to do with Cthulhu? Well, I mean, who's not to say that maybe the T800 with its scanning abilities can scan Cthulhu and try to process what it is? Sure, a human database wouldn't have anything on Cthulhu. It'd be something never seen before, so the machine might be lacking that data. But here's something that the T800 can do. It could definitely learn in the battle, on the battlefield. It could definitely adapt to its surroundings and adapt to what comes at it. It learns from its mistakes. It learns from its flaws, from the encounter, so that it can be a more efficient killer. So, even though there's no database on what a Cthulhu is or what this great one is in a T800 neural net processor, it could, I guess in theory, learn or adapt to it. Now, I don't know, can T800 swim? I mean, are they efficient in water? That I don't know. So, if Cthulhu's just slumbering away in the great depths, then I guess there is no battle. I should have researched that before. Can T800 go in water? Apparently there's a hybrid that could swim instead of sinking into the water. What? Okay. But I think they could just walk. I don't think the water is really going to affect the machinery. Now, of course, the question would be, what about salt water? Because salt is pretty, it has a pretty corrosive effect to metal. I mean, you might be a ruthless killing machine, but that's still nature. I think that's going to be a factor. You know what? And in Terminator Dark Fate, there was an underwater scene. So can they go in water? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Now, of course, a T800 is pretty strong. Now, I don't know if it being an ancient one, great old one, deity level strength, but it is very strong, right? It can lift up massive Gatling guns. It can lift up cars. It can throw things around. Massive strength there. Let's see. I talked a little bit about self-awareness, that the machine does seem to be self-aware. That's how it learns, because of the CPU. It's in the read-write mode. It can process what's going on in the battlefield and learn from it. It can do self-repair. It could improve on its combat ability. Then you have the Endoskeleton of the T800, which is, of course, that silvery metal skeleton. We all know what that looks like. Yeah, Endoskeleton is a microprocessor controlled triple armored hyper alloy combat chassis. Now that thing is pretty strong. Now, apparently there's a weak spot in it. If you aim just right, you can take out a Terminator. But Terminators are skilled in the battle. They know that. So if you were to aim right at it, they're not gonna let you get that free shot. They're gonna move around a bit, try to shield it a bit. Besides, they're the ones shooting at you, so you're probably trying to run away. Let's see what else about the T800. It's kind of fast. You can do a burst of speed of 22 miles per hour. Not a problem. Though I think with Cthulhu, we don't have to worry about so much of speed. I think it's about how fast can you get away from its grasp. I think the thing that's really going to put T800 in a bind here is if Cthulhu can grab. If Cthulhu can grab the T800 and impel it with its, I guess its claws, then the T800 could be dead. Like that. But even if you were to stab the T800 right through the chest, right through its heart, its core, it does have backup reserves. So it doesn't mean it's dead just yet. The backup reserves could kick in, and the T800 could inflict a lot of damage, depending on what weapon it has. See, that's the thing about this equation. I didn't say what weapon the T800 has. That could be up for debate on this. If there's no weapon, then the T800 is essentially going to do what? Punch Cthulhu in the eye? I mean, how's it going to reach? How's it going to get there? So maybe not that. Maybe not that at all. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at the weapons. The weapons that the T800 would be able to use here. Let's see. Well, if the T800 was using its the sort of weaponry that it uses in the future, like the plasma weapons, then I think with that it might pose a problem for Cthulhu. It could. But here's the thing about this battle. Here's the thing about this matchup. Cthulhu's kind of like, he has immortality, right? Like, you're not going to win against that. You're not going to win against someone who's immortal, who cannot die. But the problem with this is that even if we have the T800 versus the Cthulhu head on, there's just one T800 armed with a plasma gun. Let's say it's one of those Gatling guns, those big ones, the giant ones. You know what I'm talking about. And he's coming in. He's going to the water. He knows where Cthulhu is. He's going there. He's gonna lay waste, the machine gun fire and all that. What does Cthulhu do? Cthulhu slumbers. He just sleeps all the freaking time. That's all he does. He sleeps. What good is all that power and strength if you're just sleeping all the time? Right? Apparently Cthulhu's slumbering and waiting for the stars to align, or maybe he's waiting to regain his energy for the next fight. It sounds like an old man past his prime who's just sleeping away. Or it could be, I don't know if he has a heroin addiction or whatever's going on, but he's just sleeping all the time. Let's say John Jones of UFC, right? What good is that strength? What good is that strength if he's like high on opioids, right? If he's just shot up heroin, what good is that strength? This would be like someone walking up to a bear, a massive fucking grizzly bear that's been shot up to whatever amount of heroin it would take to put down a bear, So the T800 would have the first hit. He would have the first hit. Now, question is, and the other thing is, it's not like Cthulhu would know that the T800 is coming. Apparently, Cthulhu is aware of everything. He's like this omniscient god under the water, in the depths, that he sees, he dreams, he sees all. But because of the mind, because of the brains, he can read all of our brains, all of our minds. Well, we're talking about a ruthless killing machine. It's going into the water. It's not going to know what's coming. There's no way. Hey, and if Skynet put a hit on Cthulhu, we know it's going to be more than one T800, but I'll just make it one for now. So yeah, T800's definitely going to get the first hit. And Cthulhu's not going to know what's going on. And the T800 is going to be smart. It's going to know to stay in range, just far enough to start firing, because it doesn't really know what the Cthulhu is yet. Its processing is like identifying, and it doesn't know what this target is, but it knows it's a threat. So it's firing. Cthulhu starts, he starts waking up. He's like, what is this that's hitting me? Because unlike the T800, Cthulhu can feel pain. From what I understand, the T800 can't. So already on pain tolerance, T800 is more of an alpha than Cthulhu is. Cthulhu is kind of a beta pussy bitch. He can't handle pain. Oh, pain! He wakes up. He starts speaking his Cthulhu tongue. The T800 has no idea what the hell's going on. But it starts hearing the noise, trying to process it. Nothing in the database, nothing in the language base, whatever. But maybe it starts mimicking it back, because after all, the T800 can mimic voices. So maybe it talks back to Cthulhu in its language, not knowing what it's really saying. I wonder how that would happen. I wonder if it was somehow. I wonder if the CPU, if the neural net processor, will be able to process the ancient language of Cthulhu on the spot like that. I wonder. If not, no biggie. Guess what? No trash talk. But if so, cool trash talk. But Cthulhu wakes up. He goes to take a swing, tries to reach at the T800. The T800 backs up. Boop, 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 boop. If the T800 needed to, it could run fast. It could run 22 miles per hour burst speed in reverse and shoot at the same time. It could do that. Cthulhu is still going to be trying to reach that thing. Because Cthulhu's big, but how fast is he? Cthulhu's not known for being very fast. But now Cthulhu's pissed. This thing is annoying him. It's pestering him. So he starts flapping his wings. All the waves, all the turbulence, whatever in the water. It causes problems. I think that could totally throw the T800. I mean, imagine the T800 in the middle of a hurricane. How's it going to do then? Right? Is it going to be thrown around a bit? Maybe not by the hurricane winds, but I don't know. If it's like a category 5 or something. I don't know. I got to think on that one. But what we do know is that there's going to be a lot of stuff going on because of the wings flapping in the water, getting out. My bet is Cthulhu's going to get out of the water. He's going to get up, he's stand up, he's going to get to the surface, flap out, and probably get out of the water. So he's out. Maybe he's moved to land. Maybe he's running away. He's running away because the T800 won't leave him alone. You can't stop him. All the gusts and all the chaos that his wings created, it maybe knocked the T800 around a bit, but it's not going to kill it. It's not going to kill it, and it's not going to flinch. It's going to get knocked down, get its gun again. Let's just, I didn't even say that the T800 had a grenade launcher. What if the T800 had a fucking grenade launcher or a rocket launcher? What if it had like a like one of the high-end top military rocket launchers and was using that shit on Cthulhu? So many things. But for the sake of the battle, and simplicity, I suppose, let's put it on shore now. It's on shore. All right. Cthulhu tries to read its mind, tries to mind control, but it doesn't work. He can't read the mind of a machine. He can't. He can't. He's looking at this thing. It's inorganic, but it's coming at him. It's clearly alive in some way, but he can't. And he can't put fear into its heart. This is different for Cthulhu. Cthulhu's used to worshippers and people that submit their will to him, right? See, here's the thing about Cthulhu. He's very strong and powerful, but he's kind of fat and lazy. He doesn't have to fight anymore. He just has to mind control. He does a psychic warfare. The T800, it doesn't care about that. Yeah, it has a little bit of psych warfare just on its look alone. Not like Lovecraft would care. Or Lovecraft, not like Cthulhu would care. But the T800 does not stop. Now it's on shore too. And it's still shooting. Well, I guess we're going to have Cthulhu try to reach and grab him again. Or use one of his tentacles. Right? Alright. He does that. Let's say he sweeps and actually grabs the T800. Let's say he manages that. He actually grabs the T800 in his grasp. And tries to squeeze in. It's trying to crush that thing. Well, the T800 could take a lot of pressure. It could take a lot of pressure. It's still shooting. In fact, as Cthulhu brings it closer, the fucking machine is shooting it right in the freaking face, in the eye. You might be immortal, you might be some deity, but you're taking a plasma bolt to the freaking eye. I think that's going to cause a lot of pain. And we know that Cthulhu could feel pain. I mean, it doesn't say that he can't. We know that the T800 doesn't feel pain. Even if his chassis was crushed a bit, it could still function as long as it has backup reserves. Even if its core wasn't hit, it would still be able to function. Some would say, oh, that should have been it right there. He would have crushed him. Okay, what if he did crush him like a can? You'd still have backup reserves a bit, be able to fire a bit. You know that. You've seen the movies. You know what happens. You don't really end a Terminator until it's fully terminated. And you know the machine's not going to stop. Now here's the thing. Even if Cthulhu takes a shot in the eye and he squirms in pain, he drops the T800, it drops down, it flops around. The machine's not going to flop around, but it hits the ground like a bag of rocks. Maybe Cthulhu like backs off or whatever for a little bit. Surprised that this is happening. Doesn't understand what is happening. Right then and here, if it's one T800 and it was damaged that badly, this could be the turning point for it. Because all Cthulhu has to do is play the endurance game, right? Because it just has to wait, recover from the injury, and then try to go back at the T800. Maybe he'll fly around. After all, I mean, it'd be harder. Well, I would say it'd be harder to hit, but Cthulhu is a massive target. It's easy to hit that. And even if Cthulhu did try to get away, it's not like he really could. Because, like the Terminator could lock on. I think at this point, either Cthulhu runs away because he's pestered to death, or annoyed to the point to where he doesn't want to deal with this anymore, or he somehow manages a lucky blow, another swing. Cthulhu doesn't have a Godzilla tail. He can't do a swing like that, right? What he could do is try to throw it around again with its wings, try to reach it and grab it again. Maybe he could try to manipulate some sort of like Cthulhu does have some sort of magic. Well, see, now I'm going to the RPG. Now I'm going to like the Lovecraft, the Cthulhu RPG game. Let's just stick to the stories. I don't remember Cthulhu manipulating magic necessarily, or shooting plasma bolts or whatever. So all we have here is we have Cthulhu where he can just try to reach and grab and chase him like a big monster, like a big giant monster, because all of his other powers are pretty much useless. Well, if the T800 is damaged in some massive way where he can't really move his legs that well, then Cthulhu could have it. All he has to do is endure the annoying pain and stomp on the T800. After all, Cthulhu towers over it, and he could stomp it to the point to where it's crushed. Even more so. All right. Now, this could be the end. If it was one T800, yeah, sure. But here's the thing about T800s. And you cannot limit this, you cannot take this out from the battle, because this is how T800s function. When a T800 comes after you, it's not one. It might be one at that moment. But we know that Skynet, based on all the Terminators, even the bad ones, that if Skynet has a hit on you, it is it. They're going to come after you, and they're going to kill you. Over and over again. They do the same thing over and over again. Until maybe it will win. So, where there's one, there is more. So, if more T800s are coming out of the water, aiming at Cthulhu with their plasma guns, maybe some have rocket launchers after studying Cthulhu and sending it back to Skynet to process and see where its weaknesses are. Be like, this thing's immortal, we can't kill it, all we can really do is injure it to the point to where it wants to slumber again forever. Because apparently, another reason why Cthulhu needs to slumber is to regain its power because of massive injury. I think at that point, if it's an army of T800s, I don't think Cthulhu has a chance. I think Cthulhu's best bet is to get the fuck off this planet. Or to get far enough to just fly away. Just fly far away. And hope that it doesn't chase him. But like I said, once Skynet is locked onto you, that is it. It's coming after you. It will go to the past to kill you, right? They'll send Terminators to the past to kill you. And we're not even talking about the T1000s yet. This is T800s. Anyway. Yeah, at that point, I think once Cthulhu realizes it can't really fly anywhere to get away for too long because the T800s will just keep on coming, I think at that point, Cthulhu will have no other choice but to try to get off this fucking rock. Or just be pestered. Be pestered to the point to where it wants to barrel into the I can't say that word. Into the ground. Somehow. Dig itself a hole and bury itself. Dig a cave into the mountain and make a little hidey hole there. Because Cthulhu has, what he's gonna do? Crush them all? Good luck when you have all of them coming after you. Yeah. See, I really don't see Cthulhu winning here. I really don't. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm team T800 right from the get-go. I'm not. I think Cthulhu could have had this, but just looking at this, breaking it down, is there something I'm missing? Is there a power that Cthulhu has that could have turned this around? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it's pretty. I think if it's a one-off, it's all about the tactics in the beginning. But even then, there's still going to be a lot of T800s coming after that first one. So Cthulhu would still have to move because he'd be pestered to death. Or pestered to the point to where he would have to move. You know. Anyway. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do y'all think? Like I said, I ran that poll. It was split 50-50. Who would win? I know it's kind of a joke because T800s get taken out by a human, right? Well, at the same time, in Call of Cthulhu, Cthulhu was taken out by humans too. He was trapped by humans. He was outsmarted by humans. So, okay. After all, he was trapped. He was trapped in what do they call the place? Arle? I can, you know what I'm talking about. The ancient city underneath. He was trapped in there. But it takes a lot to take out a T800, even for humans, right? You have to. It's not just a shotgun blast. You have to trap it. You have to set a trap for it. You have to try to outsmart that thing. And I really don't think Cthulhu would be able to do that. I think Cthulhu would be trying to use its skills, its powers that would normally work, and then would have to use its brute strength. Its brute strength is going to help, but the Skynet can make more of these things at a rapid rate and just produce them to the point to where Cthulhu is just going to have to tap out. Or unless he finds a way to destroy Skynet. Good luck on that. That's not his mission. How the hell is he going to figure that one out? He can't read these minds. He's not going to be able to figure any of that shit out. The only way he would be able to figure that out is if somehow one of the resistance time travels back to our present, and Cthulhu somehow figures that guy out and reads his mind. He goes, "Oh, these are from Skynet. Where's Skynet at? I'll crush that." Good luck. But even if he did crush it, that doesn't matter. Like we know from all the Terminator movies that Skynet in the future will still be sending T800s into the past to kill Cthulhu. So it doesn't matter. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose situation no matter what he does. It's a zero-sum game. Cthulhu would have to run. He would have to run. Anyway. Yeah, this was a pretty quick battle. I thought it would take a little bit longer to go through all the abilities and really scale it up. But no. No. It didn't take long at all. Anyway. I will go ahead and leave this here. I'll leave it where, wrap the show up here. If you guys enjoy this, let me know. I'll do more of these big versus battles, whatever. Normally I spend Monday nights talking about a horror movie, but I want to do something different. Anyway, y'all take it easy.